Be good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Almost Good People podcast. We're Almost Good People. Ludwig and
Bruno.
Oh my God, we're back.
Are you guys good people?
I don't know what we are.
I think I would like our listeners to be good people that we say the shit that they can't. You know?
They live vicariously through us.
Exactly. We are their guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or I don't want to be or we could be inspirational to terrible people.
Also, I don't think we are that terrible.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Imagine like a crack addict or something like that, being like, yeah, I could be like Ludwig or Bruno, you know?
Yeah, that's being good people.
Yeah. For them.
That's being good, yeah.
Yeah.
For other people, it's just almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Where, like, this podcast is, the median is good people, and wherever you are, like, you're
Yeah, you got the crackheads, and you got the volunteer, like the Red Cross.
Yeah, and
we are in the middle.
Exactly. So for some people we're good people, for other people we're almost good people, and wherever you are on that scale is where you are on that scale. That's how you know. However you interpret what we're doing, that says if you're better than us or not. Because that's what, like, oh my God, you gotta get something to. Bruno was raised by wolves. Put something under your glass, my guy.
You also didn't.
Oh, because I dried it up before I put it down.
Okay, let me dry it up and then just. Man, Ludwig, it's hilarious how by most men's standards I'm like super clean. For Ludwig, I'm a savage.
Bruno's reckless.
Yeah.
This is a wooden table, and my boy hits us with a big spill and ruins it. Like, my roommate bullied this into me as well. Like, my roommate is a gay man. He gives me a lot of dating advice, which is why I'm single again.
Shout out Pride.
And he's like, dude, we gotta train you. There's a lot of things that we need to do before you're ready to date again. I think the next girl I'm dating should probably, he was like, she should probably write me a letter and be like, thank you.
Yeah,
like,
honestly.
Hey, I see what you did there. It's very kind.
This could be like, you know, those movie like montage where the guy's like training, punching the cow in the freezer.
Pick up the jacket kind of thing. Yeah.
You're doing the putting the coaster. You're doing the waxing the hair. You know, plucking the eyebrows. And the guy's like, go Rocky, go, and you're like,
Yeah. That's funny, yeah.
Dude.
Just behind me, like, you know, when you do like a heavy lift and your friend's like, do on your back, like, go, and you're like, okay.
You're like, what's these things called? They remove the dust from your clothes.
The rollers, the dust rollers. Yeah.
He's like, dust on.
Yeah, that's and just like has like chalk in his hand. Hits you with it again.
He brings out a jacket. Is this clean?
Yeah.
Or dirty? And you're like, there's dust in there.
Yeah,
like, yes, Ludwig.
My boy the grasshopper is ready. That's exactly how I'm living here. That's exactly what's going on.
I was telling a friend of ours that we might. By the way, hopefully I have a flat by the time this airs. But if not, I'm looking for a flat.
Yeah,
and
Ludwig at this point probably too.
We're thinking about if we find one that's like decently priced to just live together. And my friend, I was telling this to a friend, and she was like, "Are you sure this is gonna be okay for your friendship? Are you sure you guys fit as flatmates?" And I was like, "Actually, probably not, but like we'll make it work because of the practical benefits." But it would definitely, it made me realize it would take an adaptation period.
I'm just like, I think you underestimate the amount of roommate time we would spend because I'm not in the flat.
Oh,
I am not. I'm like a stray cat. My roommate tells me, he's like, you should get a tube at the main station where you sleep because it would be cheaper for you because you are never here.
Dude, I'm the same. Like
okay, fair, you, yeah.
And even more, actually, I feel like, because you at least cook your breakfast here. I have a protein shake and I go to work.
Well, my breakfast takes 10 minutes, so it's a similar duration.
Fair. In any case, like I think what she was talking about was more like things like this, like the coaster and things like that. Because again, most times that I've lived with dudes, I'm the guy that's like annoyed at them for not being clean. But I haven't been in a gay training montage.
This ruined me. I think the next thing where I can move is probably out and alone into the woods where no one can not use coasters because there are no tables.
Yeah, so that's and in general you are a little bit more like particular about certain things than I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. Like for example, very clean with common areas. My room, it's not dirty or anything, but sometimes I'll like take off my pants, leave them on the floor. Dad.
I mean, that's just reckless, but I mean...
Exactly.
More power to you.
That's what I mean. Like,
I'm not in your room. We're not moving in as roommates. We're flatmates.
But what I'm thinking is, in that sense, I suspect that there will be tensions at some point, and which is natural. I just, like, basically my answer when she asked me that, she was like, this could, like, put a strain on your friendship. And I was like, yes, I think it could. But at the same time, it's the kind of thing that we can communicate and work through.
Yeah, just straight up talk about it.
And yeah, exactly.
If you
emotionally intelligent,
if you don't pick up your pants, I will set the house on fire. And now, let's talk about it.
Communication.
Yeah, communication. This is my proposal that's on the table. I will set the house on fire. And what's your counteroffer? Don't set the house on fire, and I'll put it on a hanger. Sounds like okay.
Ludwig, if you keep wearing 3 liters of cologne in the bathroom, I will. No, I will not. But when you wear 3 liters of cologne all the time, it makes me feel like I want to stab you.
I see you, but I don't hear you.
I see you, and I want to murder you.
Man, I wish I had enough cologne to do that. I switched colognes recently, and I can't believe I'm giving this away. This is one of the most magnificent things I've ever found out. I used to wear the Dior Sauvage thing. Like that was is an amazing cologne, but because it was in such high demand, they kind of diluted it. So it's now way more expensive and not as intense. So what I did is I was like, I boycotted it because that'll show him. And if Dior knows one thing, then if it's his major purchaser, Ludwig Benecke is not buying.
You don't want to lose your big customer.
Yeah, major stakeholder. That's not what it is, but fuck it. I did. So I tried to look for a replacement. My God, dude, do you know that DM has a perfume section that has some solid perfumes? And you know the one I'm wearing right now? Take a guess how much it is.
15?
4.
You
4, dude. You know, like the Dior Sauvage equivalent amount would be $60, dude. Reckless. I'm like, sometimes twice a day. Just sometimes I don't wear deodorant. I just like.
That's the thing. I wear cologne maybe like I wear cologne for like dates or for like nice shows, and that's
treat yourself.
Yeah, and like I'm but you know one fucking thing I watched shout out Bruno. This is the shout out
give yourself a shout out.
No, this is I was about to say shout out documentaries, but I was like shout out documentaries.
Shout out Bruno for watching.
This is what I think is gonna be a semi-regular section of the show. This is what Bruno saw in a documentary this week.
Yeah,
bro, most products for your skin give you cancer, and they got like a shit ton of microplastics, and I kind of already suspected it, and I already had heard inklings about it, but like the amount of products that have microplastics on them is basically all of them, and they're destroying your skin. Even the ones that are like skin treatment are like not healthy. Like the ones that are like it recovers your skin, it doesn't. It's all like bull. And
so what is the real issue with is the microplastic just destroying
it's the microplastics? It's the fact that, for example, they'll add things to make the texture nice. Like a lot of moisturizer, you know, when you put it on, you're like, oh yeah, this is working. It's actually made to feel like it's working more than it is to work. Like some of the best skin treatments are still like for scars, or like, for example, honey. You put on honey and it helps heal a wound and like kind of seals it from the outside or whatever. It feels like shit to put on honey in your skin. It's sticky as hell, dude. So like they've added so many things just to make it
Soft,
feel like it's moisturizing you, basically. And so like that with adding all of these things, a lot of these are elements that are not really like the EU has like banned like I think 10,000 things. The US has banned like 500. So in the US they still sell a lot of those. But that's the thing. That makes you feel like, oh, I'm in the EU, I'm safe. No, you're not. They just banned more, but still not everything. And so a lot of these things have like just way too much stuff, and like I don't know, like the typical story is like you see these chicks that are like crazy about makeup and they're really good with all these like skincare products, like a 7-step skin. Half of those steps are destroying your skin and making it look nice, but it's just like super unhealthy.
Yeah.
And the other half just kind of cover it up. And it's like I need to check out if cologne is as bad. But one of the things I'm realizing is, like, for example, I used to have what do you call it?
Wax?
No, the thing in my hair that I had like a motherfucker.
Cum?
Ludwig, you said you were gonna keep that private.
Man,
No,
see what you did to me? I did.
Schuppen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you call that in English?
You just said dry, like
The flakes.
the skin of your
The
hair.
flakes, the frosted flakes. When you shake that shit and it's fucking
Yeah, that's gross.
snow, exactly. And like I tried all the shampoos with like anti whatever, and then I finally tried one that's like science, like dermatologist. Like it looks like trash. It looks like a medicine.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Yeah, and basically what the guy recommended with the instructions for use are like, use it once every 5 days. Don't use any other shampoo, and then only wash your hair like once every 2 or 3 days, like with water. The rest of the time, keep it dry. And this depends on the type of hair. But dude, I tried that. I don't have that shit anymore. Like almost ever. Like zero. It went from almost all the time to zero. And like, yeah, like in reality, a weird way, it was like, it was the shampoo, but it was also the
amount.
Stop fucking with your hair so much. Like all of these products that say they're good for you are irritating the shit out of it. And so now I'm like, cologne sounds cool. And I know actually DM is one of the best brands for this. Like they have like Al Natura, I think.
Yeah, mine is not that.
Yeah, but in any case, I know they're pretty careful in general.
Yeah.
So
I don't think Al Natura has any product that's €4. I think.
yeah, no, it's not that expensive actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I mean, the cologne, like, ideally what you do is you put some moisturizer on your neck and then you spray the cologne on that, because that means it lasts longer.
well, I just know that moisturizer, most of it is bad for you now. So fuck your moisturizer.
I mean, mine is different.
Dude, you I'm gonna put it in terms that you'll feel it. Okay, you want me to fuck your shit up? Microplastics lower your testosterone level, which lowers the gains, bro.
I know that. I know
all
all of that.
All the fucking moisturizer you're putting is losing on your biceps, bro. If it wasn't for all the cologne, your biceps would be fucking.
I can show you the moisturizer I'm using. Literally everywhere I order it, the people in the pharmacy are like, "What the hell is this?"
Okay.
It has like 3 ingredients.
Okay. See, that's the kind of shit.
Yeah. But it looks like whoever works in the product design department of the really good, like, dermatologist approved.
Is it the
things.
one with the blue cap?
No.
The,
It's all white.
all white with the blue. Is
No,
it the
blue.
No, okay. Because there's one that everyone's like, oh, this one's the best one. It's like a
The
blue
Nivea.
bottle. No, white bottle. A lot of writing on top of it, but the the thing where you press to get it.
This blue. Oh, the with a V something.
Yeah. That one's apparently also poison.
Yeah. No. I don't have any of that.
Okay, I'll check it out.
However, that's how you're supposed to do it. But what I often do is I just spray it on my clothes.
Yeah, that's good. But again, I want to check in general because I think that's one of my recent choices. Like remember that episode that we were talking about, like my sense of fashion and all that shit.
Yeah.
I realized because I started buying a lot of basic shirts, like not a lot, like 5, but I bought a few, and I went for like the no polyester, 100% cotton, simple, whatever. And I was like, yeah, this is my style, like simple.
Yeah.
Well researched, and that's the same. Like I'm trying to apply that to everything. So I'm gonna check out because I the same guy that did this documentary on like skincare products, he said he's working on one about cologne. So now I'm like, let's see.
I don't know, man. I feel like, yeah, just live life, no? I mean, you can do a little bit of research enough to like don't make stupid choices. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, I feel like this is the kind of thing where like
if you take the time, it's worth it.
you take the time, it's worth it, and in many ways, everyone's like the way people want you to do it. It's way more complicated anyway. It's like, for example, diets. You know how like people like love to go on a diet. Whereas if you researched how your body works and healthy eating, you basically don't need to go on a diet.
You know what I actually need to do? Not eat. That's the best thing. If you do a fast, come on, let's talk diets. Enough of the food stuff. Enough of the cologne stuff. Let's do diets. What's a diet like, man?
But in general, like think about it. Like what are the healthiest things? Like fucking meat, eggs, salad, fucking a decent amount of carbohydrates, whatever. Like people are doing all these complicated things.
The paleo, ileo, aleo.
Yeah, and
oleo.
some of those are great, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, the main principle is if you realize how many foods you're eating are poison and cut those out, that's 90% of the work.
Which one's a poison? Andrew Huberman.
Almost every processed thing that you can buy in a store. Any packaged thing that you're buying, like, for example, sadly, but like peanut butter. Peanut butter in most countries is done with palm oil, with seed oils, all of these kind of poison. Like it's really bad for it inflames your whole system.
I thought it was all good for the.
It's like
it was just bad for the environment. No, it's bad for me.
No, it's bad for you. Seed oils are trash for you. They're like fucking industrial byproduct basically. Like
cheat. Maybe that's why I have an ankle. My ankle's a little bit inflamed. Maybe that's the reason.
Well,
I'm eating too much poison.
Bruno
Mazzini, you give me all these half-baked information.
I can send you the links. But
no,
that's the thing.
don't send me the links.
Well, in any case, I'll send you the links for you to read yourself. But yeah, like
read
basically
it to me.
all processed foods, like as many processed foods, anything that lasts for fucking over 3 to 4 months, unless it's like honey or canned.
It's not good.
Honey,
get it out the store. Come on, let's
yeah.
Enough of the documentaries.
In any case, like for example, when I realized that, was the moment I was like, you don't have to like do all these fucking over-engineered like fucking. You could just fucking a bunch of raw things, like a bunch of like natural things,
and then you're good. I agree.
Easy bake, bro. And now same like a friend of mine was trying to give me like, Bruno, you gotta buy this face wash, you gotta buy this face moisturizer, and then you gotta buy a body moisturizer. And for a while, I was like, I did it, and I was like, damn, bro, you're feeling the fucking within. And then I realized as soon as I saw this clip, and he was like, these are made to feel like you're doing something. Then I actually like stopped and looked at my face for like 5 minutes, and I was like, I don't have less sits than I used to have. I have them once in a while.
In 5 minutes, you don't see it, no?
No. I did it for like a year. Like,
okay.
So it felt like I was doing something, but I wasn't really doing shit. So now I'm like, bro, now I can consciously not do shit about it and feel proud about it because I'm like, I'm avoiding microplastics, you know?
See, I just don't do nothing, and I don't have any moral superiority. I just have the ease of not doing it. That's enough for me at this point. I'm like, I just don't do it.
It's not moral superiority. It's just like simplicity.
A little bit of it.
No,
Get out of here.
Because, for example, I do think that a lot of people pressure you to do shit, and like, it's dumb. Like the shit that they're pressuring you to do.
Just do whatever you feel like. I don't know. What has your night been like?
I feel like documentaries, baby.
Yeah, this is not going to be a segment of this podcast. This is this was a 20-minute monologue.
Bruno rants about documentaries.
Yeah, Bruno tells me the documentaries he's seen and just retells what they said.
No,
this was not a comment. This was just you like, and then he said, but then he said the other thing. It's like a short version of the documentary.
Yeah, that's lit. If you want,
it's gonna be Bruno's separate podcast.
If you wanna not watch documentaries but get all the benefits. If you want to not get information and just trust what I say.
If you just want to get misinformed.
If you want to get misinformed by a funny dude.
One guy, I saw the documentary last night, like at 4 a.m. drunk. And you're like, well, and then he said the microplastics.
I'm like
the microplastics is just meant to feel good. And I'm like, what the fuck is
Dude, I'm like a less informed Joe Rogan, bro.
Far less. But no, Joe Rogan just asked, no. Rogan asks the expert what the thing is. You heard the expert and then you retell the story like you're the messenger in like in medieval times. You listen to the expert and then you travel for 60 years back to your kingdom. You forgot half the shit. And you're like, well, the microplastic, oh fuck, I should have written it down. Is meant to feel good. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, I should have written it down. Dude, like, come on.
Oh, that's actually might be a bit
misinformation corner.
Come on, get out of here. Messenger.
Oh my god, this is something Louis does all the time. Just stops and says,
"You can keep talking."
Yeah.
I should have written it down.
You made me lose my train of thought with your writing. Like this is recorded.
I'll just watch it. I'll just watch it back.
Watch it back. Okay, we're cutting this out anyway.
No, we're not. We leave it in because you know what? I'm pitching you something. Are you ready? If you do this idea, no, I can't share it yet. It's too good. It's a dating app that I'm working on. It's a dating app. It's gonna be so good. You know how Hinge has too many pictures? Yeah, I'm gonna make one without pictures. Yeah.
Is that the date you went on?
Try to battle that.
Is that the date you went on last night?
Try to battle. Well, that's I'm not going to disclose that.
You don't want to disclose what happened to Ludwig?
9.
Ludwig went on a blind date.
I went on a blind date, and it was nice. It was fun. We had a good conversation, and then we went our separate ways. That's exactly what happened. And I was very polite. She was very polite. But it was just not the right. This is honestly, I feel like I've matured so much because I'm no longer.
Brother, you're so politically correct. It's insane.
I'm no longer forcing anything. If you were on a bad date, before that I was like, let's drink a lot. Let's see if we can make this work. And now, if I'm like I'm not feeling it, I'm literally like, okay, well, seems like we just have a good chat, and then we both bounce.
Yeah. I had one of those recently with a girl that you kind of introduced me to as well. And
who?
First you avoid and you give a politically correct answer about your thing, and then you try to get me to be a cunt about mine.
See, that's what you do. Welcome to Tucker Calls.
This is the dynamic of Ludwig. Give too little information and then ask me to give too much. No, this girl...
This is our entire dynamic is like this. You always give too much.
And you never
never reveal anything.
You just hide it. So this girl... we met him at a show. We met her at a show, and then I went out with her once, and it was like fine, but it was clearly not vibing. And we ended up like we still had like 2 really fancy cocktails, and I enjoyed the cocktails. But then I was like, "Fuck it, let's." So I walked her to her place. We kind of made out a little bit, but no. Shut the fuck up. Fuck you, man. And.
That was so.
I hate you. I detest you.
Continue.
So yeah, it was like meh, and then she was like, yeah, let's see each other again, blah blah blah, whatever. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I just stopped texting her, and like after 2 days, she texted me like this whole big paragraph about like, hey, I really like you as a person and let's be friends, but it doesn't. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like, she did the rejecting for me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, fucking, this wasn't great. I was just trying to force to make it work. Or like not force it to work, but I was trying to like rescue a meh night.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I just should have accepted that it was
Yeah,
like,
and then you just part ways.
yeah. And again, she was really polite about it. So that was nice. And like, but in reality, it was kind of funny because she didn't need to be polite about it because I was going to be not the asshole, but I was just like avoiding the follow up of like, let's see each other again.
But I think that's the thing. Do you write what is it called? Do you, like, after a bad date, do you write her, hey, this is not working for me? Or do you just wait it out and ghost?
I wouldn't wait. Like, ghosting is also ignoring. So if you don't reach out, I don't count that as ghosting. Like,
okay, interesting.
So I would say I would not reach out to plan a second date. But if she reaches out, I'll be like, hey, I'm not really interested.
Because now I feel like if I'm either going to be like, hey, this was a cool night, but I don't think there's any...
That's the thing. You don't really need to, I feel like. Because if she asks you for a second one, you can. And again, you can preempt that by saying like, yo, don't fuck it. Like, because I do think that if she was trying to ask you out and then you're like rejected, then it might hurt her a little bit more. But maybe she also noticed the dude, like,
it was not vibing.
Like, you
that
fucking got an alcoholic free beer and dashed after an hour, bro. You fucking see. This is what happens when Louis does something funny. I need to say it because you won't.
How is that? I didn't even realize that it was that. You're right. Yeah, we went on the date, and it's sometimes you just know that the energy is already so off that you're like, okay, this is not going well. Like, when you apply for a flat, or have you ever subletted a flat, and you get like some people come to you for the other room, and sometimes somebody walks in the door and you haven't spoken a word, and you're like, you're not getting the flat.
Yeah.
Just that, and the person can be so nice and kind. You're like, it's just like something about us doesn't feel right, and this is nothing personal, and you're probably a great person, but sorry.
Just not.
And I had an insane day yesterday, and the date was at like 12 at night, which is already like hard because after coming back from Dresden, all that stuff, 4 shows, then this, I was just like, if I have an actual beer now, I'm also just gonna probably pass out. Yeah. I won't be able to have a conversation. And I told her, she was also like, why are you getting an alcohol-free one? And I'm like, because if I don't have that, you will not be able to talk to me.
She was probably like, I'm going on a date with a comedian. He's going to be so funny.
He's going to be crazy and reckless, and we're going to smoke and do crazy stuff. And then I was like, an alcohol-free apple juice, please.
The thing was like, I came back from tour at 6 a.m. Then I recorded a podcast. Then I edited. Then I ran around the fucking whole city. Yeah. Man, we run ourselves ragged. But yeah. Ragged.
But running this ragged. This is a good country song. Is there a country song?
For sure.
There's got to be a country song. Running yourself ragged.
Ragged. Dude, should we start a country band? Fuck it.
I would love that.
But why did I? Oh yeah. So I feel like because you just went for the alcohol-free beer,
she probably knew right away. Like, yep.
Or like just because you left an hour later, like I think she probably won't ask you out again.
Could be, yeah. But I want to be nice. I want to be like, hey, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up or make them wait to think like, because I'd assume as a girl, you would expect the dude to make the next move like, hey, this was a nice night.
Yeah, but see, that's her problem for having expectations. Like, that's the thing.
Is it expectations or is it standards?
No, it's expectations. Because she like every first date doesn't commit you to a second date.
Yeah, it's a tryout.
So that's the thing. You had the tryout and you're like, yeah. And again, if you were polite about it, I do think it's the most polite thing to be like, hey, not interested in seeing you again. But I also I wouldn't consider it ghosting, and I wouldn't even consider it a dick move. I would just consider it not going out of your way to be polite. You know?
I'll go out of my way to be polite.
For sure. I mean, I don't know. I haven't had many first dates, honestly.
You didn't have many first dates?
I feel I feel like most of the times that I start seeing a girl, we just kind of happens. Just kind of have a first hookup and then text and like I don't know. I haven't because I've also not been on the apps much or whatever. So, and yeah, a few I did, but I don't know. I feel like I did reject a girl once that like we went on the first date. It was terrible, and I had to be like. She asked me out again, and I was like,
I'm sorry.
I was like, nah, I wasn't even sorry, dude. I was like, nah, you suck. I didn't say that, right? But in my head, I was like, I'm so happy to be rejecting you right now. Like, you deserve to get shot down. Because that was like, I've told this story a few times on different pods, but like, if I showed up late, showed up drunk, like, or tipsy, like, what are you doing, dude? But yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I wanted to be with you and talk, and
Yeah.
you're all intoxicated. I feel like you're not even focused. Did you even read the newspaper?
She showed up an hour late, and thank God the bar was kind of close to my place, so I could like. First, she was like, "Hey, I'm kind of gonna be like half an hour late," and I was like, and she let me know like in advance, like an hour in advance or something.
Yeah.
And so I just stayed at my place, and then she didn't let me know she was gonna be another half an hour late. So I showed up half an hour early and just waited at the bar, sitting down. And like she also was like, "Hey, I've been drinking a little bit because I had this thing, whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'll have a beer to be like on the same level." So I just drank a beer alone, which is fine.
That's cool though.
It's fine.
I mean,
I
it's
like
sad in the context, but overall,
yeah.
drinking alone, guys.
It looked cool from the outside.
Yeah.
Like,
But internally,
what a confident man with alcoholism.
Baby, look, them dudes.
Yeah, that's some country ass shit. Right?
Drinking a beer alone
In the
it's
bar.
in the bar. I am scarred and it's home now. And I want home now.
And I miss you. That's not country, Ludwig.
I was trying to make the country version of it.
You're making
Making my way to the bar and
you're letting pop infect you right now.
I know.
Go for country, my brother.
Why is it your country song Indian?
I don't know. Anyway, the fucking
Showed up late.
Showed up late, and then what I thought was like, yeah, I had a drink or two. Like, bitch was like full on tipsy, like full on like 2 more drinks and I'll be drunk.
Oh, she.
Yeah, so I had already finished the beer, and I was like, again, fuck it, I'll rescue this, because in my head this is already like red flags on red flags on red flags.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
But I was like, fuck it, I'll rescue it. I was like, haha, no worries, I'll catch up. And I like basically chugged another beer and called that catching up, but in reality she was drunker than me.
So far gone.
Yeah, and like long story short, the rest of the night was also trash. And then she texted me like, I had a great time, let's do this again. And I was like,
Yeah, no wonder you had a great time.
I didn't, bitch.
Yeah.
And no wonder, you were drunk the whole time. You probably didn't realize how mid it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think you're good not sending a rejection message. But if you want to,
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
do it.
It's not a rejection, really. It's more like a clarification.
It's not that we're firing you. We're just not extending your contract.
We're not extending the probation period.
Yeah.
There won't be a full contract.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think if you are consuming alcohol, you most likely have a good time. I was talking with the girl yesterday. We're talking about drinking in general because she was addressing the alcohol-free beer. And then I told her that I'm not drinking for religious reasons. No, I'm joking. No, I told her, we talked about like...
You really ensured that she wasn't going to text you for a second date.
No, I was like, just like...
I know.
The 4 shows. And then we talked about like growing up and drinking and stuff. And then I remember the story because when I was growing up, what we used to do is in the first, like when we were in the higher, like older classes or right before the A level, what we used to do is we went to the gas station across the street from my school. And do you know what Fox is? The beer can. It's a 1 liter beer can.
I think I've seen it.
It's horrendous.
Yeah,
It tastes terrible. And not terrible, but like not
Because
like beer from the can is.
I saw it when I moved to Switzerland, and I was like, wow. And I never tried it, but I was like, this is cool.
It looks funny.
Yeah, the facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like the Viking
Yeah, I always called it facts.
or something like that. And
Like facts, but like facts.
Yeah, and we drank one of those in the first break before math class, just like that. And then you were tipsy in math class, but the problem is you had a hangover at around like the 5th lecture because like all the alcohol went away. Then we sometimes had another one. That meant we had 2 liters of beer before 11 a.m.
Oh my God. Why would you do that?
That's because you're bored. You're bored out of your mind. And that's what I felt like in school. It's just, I was very driven for the first 2 years. And then for the rest, I was still kind of driven, but...
University, you mean, or high school?
No, yeah, like, it's not, high school.
Your German high school weird thing.
And it's so mind-numbing because I kind of realized that half the stuff we're learning, I'm never going to use. Why do I have to learn geography was okay-ish, but there's other things. It's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
So we just started making up stupid stuff. We always went to the park. Some people got high. The amount of alcohol we consumed just randomly. And then the other problem is you go home at like 1 in the afternoon and you're shit-faced. That's when your free time starts. And that's usually when you continue drinking.
Yeah, because you could have like pursued a hobby or shit.
The hobby was drinking.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
Small towns, hobby is drinking. And then you're like, oh my God, tonight, like on Thursday, we always had like this, I don't even know what it's called in English, but when you and your buddies get together on a certain night every week, what is that called?
Like a hang?
It's a hang, but in Germany, they have a word for it. It's called Stammtisch, which is it's the gang. Wait, there it is.
The gang table.
Group of regulars.
Regulars.
The regulars table. That's actually cool.
The alcoholics.
Yeah.
That would be a good name for a podcast.
The regulars table. That's cool. Yeah. Let's have this as a segment. We have the regulars table. That's always been like a friend.
Oh, that's how we call it when we invite one of the boys.
Yeah, exactly. One of the boys, one of the gals.
One of the gang.
Get him in. But that's what you do. You meet on Thursday. That was how our weekend started. On Thursday, we had the regulars table. Then which was just consisted of like 3 or 4 people. We just got shit-faced on Thursday.
In Peru, there was like a big beer commercial campaign. I mean, it's still happening. It's like a regular slogan for one of our beer brands, which is Jueves de Patas, which is Thursdays are for the boys, basically.
Nice.
And then patas actually just means friends. So then they also made it like women too.
Yeah.
But like basically Thursdays are when the gang gets together and they have some beers and they chill and they hang out. They're just trying to sell you beer.
And it's so good though. But they sell a vibe. That's what you need.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hilarious because it worked. Because every time we were getting drunk on a Thursday, we'd be like, Jueves de Patas. And it's like fucking just chugging beer and shit. But yeah.
It's cool, man. I think that's now with comedy we don't do it, but I like it. I like the if you don't have anything else, it's so fun. It's just you, the lads, and the funny thing is you're like at that point I was like 16. You haven't really lived an insane life at that point, and we were reminiscing about the times. Dude, the stories happened like 2 weeks ago. It's not like those are old fond memories before the war. It's you're getting shit faced. You're like, remember when we were getting shit faced 2 weeks ago? That was a good shit face.
Yeah, it is the kind of thing that's like cool to do, but then it could get depressing real quick.
Oh yeah, it got depressing 2 years later,
dude. And then you see people that are like in their late 60s. That have been doing it for the past 50 years. Yeah. They're in the same table.
Same regulars table.
Yeah, they're in the same regulars table at the same bar after 50 years.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, remember that time we were 12 and this guy got shit faced? Oh. They all have high blood pressure and grandkids that don't talk to them.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. Jeez. I just went into my head. The image that came to mind is like when you have those like name tags.
Yeah.
On the table or on the counter because you're there so much, and you're like, that's almost like a badge of honor, and you're like, nah,
it's a badge of shame, bro.
That's a sad thing to be.
Dude, you could have reconstructed an African village per year that you were on that table with the amount of time you had, like
time and money.
Dude.
I think I ran the numbers. I think over the course of like the heavy drinking years through college and shit, I probably spent like I think $5,000 at least on
Sheesh. Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, not just alcohol, but the overall expenses for drinking.
oh yeah. Then yeah.
Posts, like you drink,
Drunk food, cabs for the party. Well,
Yeah.
In my case, a lot of cabs.
Yeah.
Peru, but yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like
all of that. Yeah. I feel you. But
that's so much money.
yeah.
But that's how my weekend started. It started with huevo de patas on Thursday. Is that what it's called? Jueves. I said eggs. Eggs for the boys. Hueves de patas. Eggs for the boys.
Huevos.
And huevos de patas. And then
Motherfuckers inventing a new language.
and then Friday, Saturday, you go drinking anyways.
Yeah.
And then, Sunday, you have a beer to unwind from all the drinking.
Man. Sunday were always family days in Peru. Like usually you hang out with your family. Like you do something during the day. And so it's funny. People were like hungover and shit. Like you're meeting your aunts and shit.
Oh,
and in
yeah.
your head, you're like, why I hate you. That's how Peruvians
Hate their family.
stop liking their family. They're like, I love my aunts. I love my uncles. They're all great. And then all of a sudden you see them every time you have a hangover. So you start correlating the thing.
The hangover, the bad feeling with them. I can't stand them anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, my weekend was
Concert.
well, yeah, I was gonna host a late show, but then I saw this guy, he was a concert, and I was holding off on buying the ticket for the longest time because I didn't really love the new album as much as the other ones. But then I was like, man, I still like it's still good. It just like the other albums, I know the lyrics to every single song.
Okay, how many people were there? Or which venue was it?
It was a Festsaal Kreuzberg.
So like 500 people?
A little more, I think. Yeah, I think more, but it's hilarious. And I was telling a friend before, this guy sells out like 60,000, 100,000 stadiums in Argentina. In Peru, still like 10,000, 20,000. Like in South America, like, yeah, just stadiums of like an ocean of people all jumping and like the people that were there were all going wild. There were like a lot of Argentinians because the guy's Argentinian, a lot of Latinos in general, but like the Argentinians especially were like going wild.
Yeah.
And it was insane still, but it was funny because like at some point like there were so many like what do you call them, like not. It wasn't like really the pogo type of like pushing each other. What do you call that in English?
Mosh pit.
Yeah, there was not that.
Pogo.
Yeah, that's what we call it in Spanish or in Peru because everyone's bouncing. So they call it pogo.
It's a okay.
But yeah, the mosh pit. There weren't that many, but there were a few, and every time I just kind of ended up closer and closer. By the end of the concert, I was like, I could see him basically a little farther than the camera is right now. Like I was in the fourth row or something like that. Oh, and no rows, but like people, like there were like 3 bodies in front of me and then the stage and the guy was right there. So it was sick. Again, a guy that like sells out 100,000.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's like seeing your favorite comic play a really small room.
Yeah. Like cool. It was literally like a Louis C.K. type of person in South America.
Yeah.
And not like, but in a small room because he can't sell them. It was insane. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, he was wild. He was again like a fucking top level artist in the whole sense of the word. And then the late show got canceled, which was honestly kind of great. It was sad because I didn't do any spots, and that was frustrating. But I noticed that at like 9 p.m. So then I just went wild on the concert because I didn't have to reserve my energy to perform later. Yeah. Man, the guy was just like a genius. Like he was amazing.
Hitting the lyrics.
Dude, no, at some point he stops and he's like, hey, like I want to thank everyone on my team. And I also want to thank you guys because all I'm doing here is kind of just unwinding. And like what I do is I like share my emotions and I just like... this is just a little corner of my soul, and you guys are the ones that are like allowing me to do this for a living. But this is just what I do to feel better about my life.
Amazing.
And it was sick. And it's so true. And I was like, man, this is wild because everyone has this. Everyone likes to make people laugh. Everyone likes to, do whatever. But it's like, okay, he also put in the work or whatever. But it is true that like because so many people love what he does, the way he shares his emotions, he can do this for a living. Because people think we're funny, we can be comedians. But the reality is like they give us they allow us to do whatever we do. Like we do it to them but they have to,
They have to show up.
They have to show up, they have to support us, they have to, because otherwise it's not possible. And then I realized, cause you won't get this analogy at all, but I'll just say it because it's fuck it. And maybe you also like it. Like he was singing and he was really giving it his all as a performer, like jumping, whatever. But also emotionally, you can tell he was in every song he was singing. He wasn't just phoning it in. He wasn't.
Yeah, just mouthing the words.
He was really feeling the thing he was saying. And for example, it's like a really bad political time in Argentina. He has like 5 or 6 very political songs.
Okay.
Some of them are not his most well known. He still sang them all because he was like, and you could tell the Argentinians, even half of them didn't know the whole lyrics to some of them.
Yeah, they were in.
But they knew the hook and they were like fucking going wild because they were like angry about this stuff. And he was angry and you could feel it. And like basically what I realized was happening to him was that he was just saying how he felt and everyone was agreeing. Everyone was connected to his emotions,
Interesting. Yeah.
And then we realized when people ask us how it feels to do stand-up, that's kind of how it feels, like in a different way, but we say shit that we think and we feel, and you're agreeing, like when it works, right? When you suck, you suck. But when it works, it's like we're all connected, and I'm like the director of the orchestra, and I'm like, and you laugh, and now we get all sad, and then you fucking laugh,
Yeah.
And then I realized that's kind of what it feels like to do mushrooms a little bit, but we get a dose of that every day, which is that's where I was like,
How so?
because when you do mushrooms, you feel like you're connected to the whole world.
I see.
And you're like,
I see.
you see everything for what it is, or that's how you feel at least. And people like you're way more transparent for how you feel. And I was like, damn, this is why we love stand up so much, because it's like a light dose of mushrooms every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. You're right. I don't get this analogy because I am not part of this hedonistic, atheist, drug addicted circle that Bruno's part of.
If I told you that doing it is gonna make you more connected to your emotions and be
I am very well connected. I'm so connected. I got an alcohol-free beer because I wanted to. Just like that.
Ludwig.
Did I have to fight it? The urge to conform? Yes. Did I beat it? Yes. Do I feel proud? Yes. Do I look forward to writing this text now? No. No, I don't.
But yeah, anyway, Ludwig is still not convinced about drugs. Someday. One day we're going to do a compilation of me slowly grinding them down. And it'll be like the first episode is like, ew, mushrooms. And then the last one he's like,
it's just me with like dreadlocks and like the most racist thing. And I'm like with a Jamaican accent. And Bruno's like, Ludwig, you overcorrected. I'm like, ooh.
Oh man, that's a real negative thought you're having.
Yeah. Some crazy stuff where it's like, and then you just cut back to, I met a pretty lady and I didn't like it. And the next cut is just me like,
Buffalo Soldier. Ludwig, calm the fuck down.
That's not how it works. And I'm like, it's not me, it's the weed talking.
You're like, Africa, unite. I'm like,
Yeah.
Ludwig, what is?
That's not good.
Ludwig's like, this is all the fault of the white man.
Oh no, okay, listen, this is crazy. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Another insane episode. We've been almost good people. Let's hit the... Goodbye, everybody.